Grace, 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 grace. Who is up? Wake up, let's talk. It's only 10:30. You got some time. Hey, my knee. Pastor Brinkley, hey. What's up? I am Chris Bender. What's going on, man? Pastor Telefero. Apostle Jay, what's going on? I need some updates. Apostle Jathan Austin of All Nations Worship Assembly of Las Vegas, Nevada. Hit him up. What's going on, y'all? This is my happy time because I'm spending time burying myself in the scriptures. Damon Gator, I promise you, I was just thinking about you. I got a whole story, man. I could share a lot about armor bearers and armor bearing. Tanky, what's up, man? And I was going to share some lessons about that and what I learned with that. But the Lord is doing some crazy stuff in my life, in my heart, in my world, in my soul with the subject of support and armor bearing and Jonathans and John the Beloveds and all of that stuff. Who all is on here? What's going on? Trey Farmer, hey man, you owe me a call. Let me know if you're still on the road. Jaco, hey boo, what's up? Hickson World, what's going on? Josh Congress, hey. Eddie M now 35. I anticipate seeing you tomorrow. Yo, Tanky, you can still be my armor bearer. Let me know, bro. Elder Agatha, you went to the West Coast on me. Now, you know how me and California interact and interrelate. Jesus. Tanky, absolutely. It's ruthless out here. Hey, what's up, y'all? I want to share some things with you real quick. I'm about to give you a little rant, a little rant to encourage you about tomorrow. First of all, no matter where you are in the world, you can find an All Nations Worship Assembly, and that will be the case forever. Tomorrow, you can join me at All Nations Worship Assembly of Chicago, 7359 South Chappelle Avenue. We'll be there at 10. It's going to be amazing. You want to be there to make sure you're seated well. I'll be preaching, probably ministering in the gifts of the Spirit. And there's going to be some amazing things that God says to you. And I'm excited about it. I got some stuff I got coming up and boiling in me, trying to make sure that it ferments well tonight. Dr. Zeri, hey, I love you, beloved. And then also 310 Riverside Drive in New York City. It's going to be an amazing time. And listen, you don't want to miss this. Now, you know, New York goes from 0 to 100 real fast, real quick. And I got some stuff planned for them tomorrow that I want you to be there. So no matter where you are in the world, you can go to Charlotte, North Carolina, Pensacola, Florida, Aurora, Illinois. You can go to Atlanta, Georgia. You can go to everywhere. And so just Google it and you'll find out where you can be. So just make sure you are not on your phone or on your couch or any of that. Make sure you are in somebody's church tomorrow. It is a dangerous time to forsake the gathering of yourselves and the assembling of yourselves. Do not allow the agenda of alienation, isolation, to keep you away from being in the community God has anointed and ordained and assigned to you for your cultivation, your character, etc. All right. So I love you. Come to church. Get your tail in church. All right. Yo, I got a word. And I'm going to try my best to hold it in so that I can preach tomorrow effectively. And you know how I am about my messages and how I construct them. So I want to make sure it hits you the way it's supposed to hit you. But I got something I want to share with you tonight that I think is going to help you. We got about 300 folk on, and I want you to add some people on, text them, let them know that I'm on. Pastor Matthew Adams, my man of God, he's in here. Yo, what's good? Oh, Trudy, me and you are in strife right now. I just want you to know that. Me and you are in strife right now. Please come to South Africa, Johannesburg. I vow. That's one of my favorite places on the earth. Early on in my pastorate, I would go to South Africa every year. I would go to Mozambique, Swaziland, Queenstown, Johannesburg, and I would just stay weeks and weeks on in there. And that's kind of where and how I'm sculpting my new agenda and ministry priority and prerogative. R.D. Weaver, man, I haven't seen that name in a long time. What's going on, Apostle? So much grace to you. So much grace to you. I'm going to make this quick because y'all know I like to study and I got to get up early. I like to eat. I have gained a significant amount of weight. I was during my bodybuilding days and all that stuff when I was really under attack. My peak was 178, 176 pounds. I'm at 220 almost. I think when I checked yesterday, it was 218. I wear it a bit uniquely because I'm tall. I'm 6'1". And what I've noticed is over the last maybe 5 to 7 months, something has happened in the realm of my appetite and in the realm of my hunger. That has taught me a lot about life, about victory, about power, about resilience. I spent some time thinking about this today, and I think it's going to help you. I thought about everything that can occur when somebody is hungry. I stay hungry. When I tell you I be so hungry that it disrupts my day. I get so hungry that it changes my mood. I get so hungry that it determines who I'm around and what I'm willing to do and how I allocate my time. So I spent some time thinking today about the power of hunger, what it does, the gift of hunger even, and how hunger is a sign, hunger is an indicator, hunger is a compass, if you will. Think about the things that you do or the things that you are unwilling to do when you are hungry. I mean, it changes your attitude. You know, you get hungry enough and stuff starts happening and you end up going places that you didn't want to go, changing your direction. I mean, listen, when I am hungry, I get real attitudes. Like, you cannot talk to me. You can't. I'm not sound when I'm hungry. But I was thinking about that today because I got hungry today. And when I got hungry, I changed as a person. And I started to think about why that was and what that is and how that matters to us. Jesus said, "Blessed is he that hungers after righteousness, hungers and thirsts. He'll be filled." Hunger is a technology, a gift even from heaven to the human existence and the human species. I think that is somehow coded and attached to a life's knowledge of its need to grow, its need to be strengthened, its need to mature, its need to push, its need to pull, its need to be forwarded, its need to stretch out. Hunger is a telltale sign that there is a need and there is a deficiency, or there is a clock, an alarm, if you will, that something needs to be fed. And feeding is for future purposes. So I was thinking about all the stuff that's in the scriptures about hunger and what it does and what it means. And then I started to think about how many people lose their appetite as a byproduct of sickness. And one of the first things to go when you are sick or when you lack health or when there has been some type of infection, some type of decay, is the appetite. It gets lost. I know that the devil knows the power of appetite because the Bible says that when he came to Jesus in the wilderness, one of the things he tested was, or tried to test, was the appetite. If you be the Son of God, talking about his identity, take this stone and turn it into bread. It was a test of the appetite in the appetite realm to try to make Jesus consume something that he should not have consumed. So that happened to Jesus. And if it happened to Jesus, I can absolutely anticipate, if I'm a Christian, a follower of the way, that it's probably going to happen to me. Then I thought about the children of Israel and everything that it took for God to get them to pursue their future, their path, their route, their journey to the promised land, their Canaan. And one of their consistent complaints was about leeks and onions and garlic. They say, at least under Pharaoh, we knew where our provision was coming from. The exact verse says, we remembered the leeks and the onions and the melons, talking about, again, their appetite. Then I was thinking about how God was keeping them focused through the power of manna when they were in uncertainty and transition and evolution and immaturity. God was providing them with manna to sustain them, to provide them. And so my mind couldn't help but wonder how many people have not done such a good job at guarding their hunger. And how many people don't realize that the enemy is using the door of the appetite to distract or delay them, to attack them, to bring death in their lives, to stall their journeys and their maturity, to keep them in arrested development. The intent of my exhortation or admonishment tonight is you've got to stay hungry. You can't get to the place and the point of your life where you are content. You got to stay hungry. It does not matter who is not praying and who is not seeking and who is not fasting and who is not attending. And it does not matter what's popular. You got to stay hungry. And hunger, when cultivated and hunger, when protected, is disruptive. It will ruin you. There is nothing absolutely more disturbing than a person, a people, a place that's dealing with hunger. I'm not talking about starving. I'm talking about a well-cultivated appetite, and one that can be managed and one that can be steered and one that can be used to direct you and to keep you consistent in what it is that you're supposed to be doing. Appetite. Stay hungry. There's a story in the scriptures. I preached this several years ago at New Birth with Dr. Jamal Bryant. There's a story in the scriptures where Jesus had been ministering, and the disciples were like, hey, you've been going for a while and you've not taken the time to eat. And Jesus responded to them and said, I've got meat that you don't know nothing about. And they were confused. They were lost. They're like, Chipotle's around the corner, McDonald's around the street. And Jesus said, my meat. There is a meat that is specific for you. I will reiterate. There is a meat that is specific for you. Jesus said, my meat is to do the will of him that sent me and to finish. So Jesus was able to be nourished by, groomed by, satisfied by a type and a kind of a meat that was unique to the meat of what the 12 wanted. Leads me to know that sometimes your destiny, dietary issues and needs may alienate you or make you feel misunderstood or make you feel like you're unlike what is, or it may make you unpopular to the day or to the moment or the crowd or the group or the party or the event, the brunch or the whatever the thing is. But unless you are willing to sacrifice that and endure that, one of the things that you're going to risk is the loss of your particular hunger and your particular regimen and your particular diet that may end you up in a place called deception. So tonight it wasn't real complicated or deep or mysterious. I just want you to stay hungry. Don't let it be said of you that you were more voracious and you were more fervent and you were more valiant and you were more passionate when you were immature and unlearned and unskilled No, 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 no. Keep that hunger protected. And here is the warning. Get rid of anything that compromises it, that gets in the way of it. It's going to determine what you give your energy to, your passion to. Stay hungry. Don't you ever get to the place where you're so content and comfortable that the Spirit of grace can grab a hold of your hunger and your hunger levers to steer you in the direction of something adventurous, something powerful, something bold, something courageous, something that you need to champion and something that you need to conquer. I think there's a whole generation that's suffering from a lack or a loss of hunger. They don't know how to stay hungry. And that's one of my qualms. Let me rephrase that. I'm lying. I believe it's one of the Holy Spirit's grievances with the contemporary church is that they know how to do a lot of things, but remaining hungry is a challenge. It's complicated. You know, you get a lot of lights, you get a lot of smoke, you get a lot of fog, you get a lot of acknowledgments and connections and relationships, etc. But you lose your hunger. Your devotion is not what it used to be. Your pursuit is not what it used to be. Your notes don't look the same. Your fasting is decreased. Your consecration is decreased. Your tongue is a little bit more loose. And what you call freedom is actually bondage because you've not allowed your hunger to become your point and place of accountability. But hunger is powerful. There's a way to cultivate it and deepen it in your life so as to make it produce miracles and produce mercy and produce acts of compassion. Hunger has a way of creating things innovatively. People that are hungry have a way of idealizing and dreaming and envisioning things from and for the future in their heart. So guard that appetite, man, and make sure that by all means that the enemy does not take it away from you where you're just stuck, content. Just get hungry. Prayer keeps me hungry. Fasting makes me hungry. Worship is an expression of my hunger. My study life is one of the ways that I tend to and cultivate my hunger. And I keep it there because it's holy. It is holy. Jesus said this, when you pray our Father which art in heaven, hallowed be thy name, thy kingdom come, thy will be done on earth as in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread. You need a bread for the day. And there are people who crave and there are people who desire. There are people who want, the bread of yesterday. But as it was with Israel, the bread of yesterday will become maggots. It will spoil and it will poison you and it will tempt you to consume that is cursed. You need a bread for the day, a bread for the day. You've got to discern the day to understand the diet. And if you don't know what day it is, you're not going to know what you should consume and what you should eat. I believe God cultivates appetites in people based upon what their assignments are. And your assignment is going to determine what you crave. Now, if we can be deeper and if we can be a little messy in here, people have a way, particularly if they are not equipped, if they are not endowed enough, if they don't carry, if it's not weighty enough on them, people will preach you out of your hunger. They'll counsel you away from your appetite. They'll tell you you're a fanatic. They'll tell you that you're doing too much. It doesn't take all that. But my hunger is the only reason why I'm sane. And my hunger is the only reason why I maintain stability. Do not allow any relationship of any sort, romantic, platonic, business, or otherwise, to convince you out of your hunger. You see, your seek should be selfish. Your seek should be about where you're going. My success won't be yours. Yours won't be mine. My struggle won't be yours, and yours won't be mine. Therefore, my hunger is going to define and determine and dictate what I do with my days. And if I am annoyed, I'm probably hungry. And if I am distracted, I'm probably hungry. And if I am frustrated, I'm probably hungry. Frustration is something that is also a gift to the human race. There's certain things like hunger and frustration that the enemy loves to claim the definitions to. But no, I don't think all frustration is bad. And I think you can become carnal and disrespectful and dishonorable because of a frustration. But frustration is also an indicator. It's a sign that something has outgrown a current space. Frustration is a sign that there is a present friction and there is something that is trying to stretch out of, grow out of, expand out of a limitation and a boundary or a border or a parameter. And so you need to explore frustration. You don't just let it stay there, or you don't allow your frustration to become offense. That's where we go wrong. Church people love offense. It's one heck of a drug. Offense. So rather than explore frustration as an information source, very many people just allow it to stay what it is and just become offended. And then after that offense stays where it is, that offense becomes bitterness. And then bitterness, after a while, it's only one other place to go, and that's rebellion. So it goes from frustration to offense, from offense to rebellion. Hey, G baby, from frustration to offense, from offense to rebellion. And that's where a lot of people end up going. They just end up reversing and backtracking and losing ground and losing territory and not having peace and not being able to, fully prosper the way the Lord would have them to do so. But it all started with a mismanaged frustration. And a mismanaged frustration probably was a hunger that was not explored or stewarded well. Stay hungry, y'all. Don't you get a certificate and decide that you've arrived. Stay hungry. Don't you get ordained and decide that you made it. Stay hungry. Don't you get invited to the green room and decide now that you are VIP in the spirit. Stay hungry, because there are a lot of you who are very popular on earth. Nothing knows you in the realm of the spirit. No authority, just popularity. And there is a difference. Stay hungry. You've got to make sure that you've got relationships, habits, postures, conversations, wisdom sources, correction lines, reproof, all of that keeps you in a hungry posture. Hunger is not just one event. It's a posture. It's a position. It's a way to live. It's a way to behave. It's a way to respond. It's a way to grow. You got to stay hungry, and God can do a lot. Heaven can do a lot with a hungry people. And so I have found in my ministry that the majority of miracles and demonstrations and all, when the power of God, the hand of God moves in great power, the heavy-handedness of God, when it moves in a meeting, I have found that it's because people were hungry. I didn't even say that it was because people were holy. Hey, so let me shift this paradigm for you real quick. I've gone through some persecution because of this stance, but I'm doing it for a generation unborn, so I'm going to stay here. God does not just heal those that are holy. Do you think that holiness is a requirement for healing? Holiness is a goal. Holiness is the highest potential of the human race. Holiness is the image and the likeness of the Son of God. It is Jesus Christ, Christ's likeness, righteousness. But if it took that to get healed, none of us would ever be it. So then, if holiness is not the prerequisite for healing, what is? I think it's hunger. Are you tired of where you are? Are you sick of your circumstance? Do you have an unhealthy relationship with the level you've been at? Yeah, I submit to you, if you get hungry, he'll heal you. If you get hungry, he'll help you. It's not about your perfection and your performance in the flesh. I believe that if you get hungry, things happen. The power of God moves for those that are hungry. Hey, once upon a time, there was this woman that didn't qualify and didn't classify. She wasn't ready. She wasn't a part of. She wasn't in the in crowd. None of that. And she needed a miracle. She needed a miracle. She was in dire, desperate need of a miracle. She was destitute, abandoned, overlooked, unseen, unhealed, unheard, wounded, broken, raped, fractured, scarred. She had all of that in her human self. She came to the Savior one day. I need a miracle, because that's where I'm at. I've changed. I've decided that I'm not preaching if there are no miracles. I'm going back to the business world strictly if I don't see the supernatural power of God. I'm throwing myself heavily into supernatural demonstration. I don't want life without it. I don't. This lady comes to Jesus and I need a miracle. Jesus is like, cool. You know I can't do that. The culture has ejected you. The rules have abandoned you. Religion has quarantined you. You know what it is. You are a victim and a prisoner of the statistic and the stigma. Your deliverance is captive by the dogma. She says, all right, I'm going to tell you something. All right, cool. I am willing to be called a dog. Because Jesus is like, yo, I can't give the children's bread, the son's bread to dogs. And she said, yo, call me whatever you want. I will surrender my label. I will surrender my status. I will surrender my nickname, my ethnicity, my gender. You can have all of that. I don't care. You can call me whatever you want to. But even the dogs can get the crumbs. That statement there is something about the declaration of somebody's willingness to surrender their identity or their image because of their desperation is a byproduct of their hunger. And Jesus, being Jesus, is like, all right, you're right. I'll break the rules for you. It doesn't matter what the culture says, what the dogma said, what the stigma is, what the stain is. I don't care about your past. I don't even care about what you deserve or not. Be it unto you. That lady walked up to Jesus and basically said, yo, every dog's got its day. I'll take the crumbs. I wonder how many people are missing out on miracles because they are unwilling to abandon how they're seen and unwilling to abandon their stigma and the seat belts that protect them and keep them out of hunger and looking crazy and allowing, acting ruthlessly in praise and pursuit. And consequently, risking their miracles and their deliverances and their healings. All that to say, my accomplishments mean nothing because I'm hungry. My achievements mean nothing because I'm hungry. My accolades mean nothing because I'm hungry. My designations mean nothing because I'm hungry. I say this very often in ministry moments and in moments of preaching and in altar work and in all of that, but I'm going to say it to you tonight before you go to bed, hopefully. You've got to get to a place in your pursuit of God and in the things of God where it's like, hey, whatever I had before was good, but today it's not enough. And I cannot think or assert or assume that my biggest moment or my grandest moment with God is the most he's got, and that the places in him that I've seen, the journeys with him that I've had, is the peak, is the zenith, is the paramount, because he is eternal. There's got to be more. So I'm hungry. So yes, it's snowing outside. I'm hungry. Yes, they're saying it's a recession. Sorry, I'm hungry. Yes, everybody loves to go to church on their phone. I'm hungry. And I'm willing to be mocked because of it, laughed at because of it, scorned because of it, ridiculed because of it, imitated and copied because of it. There's more out there. So that is my admonition for you tonight, my encouragement for you tonight. I hope it didn't sound all over the place, but stay hungry, y'all. Don't get complacent. Do not get complacent. There's so much at stake right now. You need to stay hungry. And if you're not hungry, get hungry. Desperation is the key to deliverance. And there will come a point in close, in summation, there will come a point in your life, in your journey, in your walk, in your purpose, in your calling. There will come a point when you're going to either have to choose your dignity or your deliverance. You will not be able to maintain both all the time. You must surrender one for the sake of the other. Stay hungry. Blue check and all, stay hungry. Collar and all, stay hungry. Degree and all, stay hungry. Certificate and all, stay hungry. Be hungry. And if you're hungry, you'll be humble. You see, humility is easy for those that are hungry. Pride is a manifestation of a false form of contentment. Stubbornness is a manifestation and an expression of self-reliance. But when you're hungry, humility is not difficult to achieve. Stay hungry, and you'll achieve, you'll access, you'll gain entry points into things and areas that you could never dream of. That's my wisdom for you tonight. I hope it blessed you. Again, I warn you, I'm going to only have a few more of these before I make it a little bit more exclusive and give it to a community that I'm establishing and forming so that I can pour my mind and my heart and my journey out to people to help them grow in their formation and their fundamental life as a believer as we pursue and access and advance the kingdom together. But stay hungry. Join me tomorrow. 7359 South on Chappelle Avenue, Chicago, Illinois, 10 a.m. or 310 Riverside Drive in the beautiful city of New York. Either way, it's going to be amazing. Bring somebody with you. Be hungry. Be the first one at the altar, the first one at the door, the first one pulling up. Don't wait for your neighbor to dance. You start it off. You run first. You cry first. You worship first. Be hungry. And I think that that's the hope of the nation, is a hungry generation. Grace to all of you. I love you. Rest well. All right. Peace.